Hola, 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 hola YouTube, soy vuestro chico de la shisha and I'm back again with another reaction. Now today I'm going to be reacting to a video that was just uploaded by Freestyle in Spanish. You guys need to check out that channel. He makes videos with subtitles, Spanish rap battles, so I'm going to put the link to the original video in the description below. And so this is ACZINO versus WOS, and this is the third time I'm going to react into a battle between these two. So far ACZINO won the first one, WOS won the second one, and both of them were finals. However, this is a round of 16 Red Bull International 2019, so this was the recent one. And I know that Red Bull tournament, none of them won it. Actually, Binet won the finals, so I actually don't know who actually won this battle, but whoever won the battle ended up losing at some stage in the tournament. So I'm really excited to check this one out. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys. Let's keep growing. I'm gonna keep giving you more content. If you don't have any songs, freestyle, rap battles that you want me to react to, just drop it in the comment section down below. And also, a lot of people have been reaching out to me since I've tried to ask for you guys help in translating some of my videos, and so I appreciate that. We're actually in the process of trying to translate every single one of the video, so it's gonna have Spanish subtitles. So so give it some time, but the translation is coming very soon. So anyway, that's enough talking for today. So without further ado, let's smoke this shisha and get to the video. Oh, they just showing the previous battles. Okay. Yeah, ACZINO won this one, 2017. That was a whitewash. And then WOS came back. Yeah, 2018 final. Yeah. This is one of the hardest lines in rap battle history. It's just a very, very big statement. Some people didn't disagree with the result, by the way. They said it's Tongo, but I think replica would have been a fair result. But you can't say WOS did not deserve to win it. I disagree, because I think he did well. So this is now the current one. Okay. Trueno, my G. I like these both of these artists. I like them, I ain't gonna lie. So it's gonna be tough. Whoever loses. Mano arriba ya. 3, 2, 1, let's go! Tanto me quería porque se escribió la rima. Tanto que pediste galmivito de Argentina. Pero que voy a ver si no te cagues encima. Tu presencia por el culo con excelencia. En cambio yo todo el día metido en su conciencia. Escucho como me nombra toda su competencia. So far there isn't anything to like a hard punch. I mean, the first one is basically saying you're gonna shit yourself when you face me, and then I know about this. I hear him name me in all his competitions, but he's not just naming you. Because I remember the last competition that ACZINO talked about was when someone said to him that WOS beat him in the finals, and then he said he's gonna sort his problems with don't worry about WOS, he's gonna take care of his problem with WOS. I don't know, but maybe he's been mentioning WOS's name in other battles, so I'm not really too sure about that. But I see what is going here. That's okay. Ooh, there's a reference there. There's a fucking reference there. Okay, he came to beat me right in the rhymes. I came to connect with people and smoke on the Gran Via. Gran Via is one of Madrid's main street. There's no punch there. There's no punch there. It's a dope reference, but there's no punch there.
Te cregué veloz, pero la muerte sabia está viniendo con su voz. No necesito de asesino para hacer el WOS. Vos sí, para que hablen de vos. Porque si no, tiene problemas. Y ganarle gasto un poco me da pena. Porque sabe que ahora se queda acá afuera. Que el pibito de Argentina representa con su emblema que está fuera.
Yeah, what the fuck that last one is? What is that? Because he knows he's out now. The boy from Argentina represents with his emblem. It's out. There you go. I don't get that reference. But I don't know, man. I was expecting a lot from WOS. I mean, apart from the first couple lines, when he dropped a one reference of on a little shot, he didn't really murder it. I don't think he really did murder it. So I'm a bit disappointed. But obviously, like I said, maybe this is it's not just one verse. There's another verse coming. But the problem with ACZINO is if you're gonna go against ACZINO, you can't afford to be below your best. I know WOS is capable of so much more than this first verse that he did, because ACZINO starts at the top and he stays at the top. So it's gonna be a tough one for WOS, but let's see. Okay, let's go ACZINO. I have to turn the volume up for ACZINO. En 3, 2, 1, tiempo.
Hoy vengo a improvisar, saben que lo maltrato. Me voy a cagar un rato. Me voy a cagar en tu falso campeonato. Que te diste encanto. Mira como otra vez, igual que mi llanto. De verdad que te miro y me espanto. Te lo diría en la cara, pendejo, si no te escondieras tanto.
Wait, there's a fucking reference there. Ooh. Where the fuck?
Igual que mi llanto, de verdad que te miro y me espanto. Te lo diría en la cara, pendejo.
WOS was inactive for 10 months in 2019. Ooh, okay, I tell you in the face also if you didn't hide so much. Ooh, okay, that's a shot. Okay.
Te lo diría en la cara, pendejo, si no te escondieras tanto. Porque sabes, aquí lo lograste. Ya sabes cómo fue lo que encontraste. Yo hice lo que tú no lograste. Gané todas las competencias que tú le abandonaste. Porque sabes que tiene los temas.
Ooh, he followed up that bar. Oh, that was dope. That was dope. First he said, obviously, like, he couldn't fight you because you want to hit yourself. And while you were hiding, I was winning all the competition you gave up, because I think someone told me that was the reason why he stopped battling is because he's trying to focus more on his personal career. So, and he's actually been very successful with his music. So, I mean, he did what's best for himself. But yeah, I can see how ACZINO is using that as a shot. That was dope.
Hoy te va a abandonar como hiciste con Teorema.
Another reference there. Ooh, okay. Today is going to leave you like you did with Teorema. WOS was going to be Teorema's duo, but it was cancelled. Yeah, but it was cancelled though, so it's not like he... Why was it cancelled? Was it because WOS was too busy with his career that that the battle was cancelled?
Hoy te va a abandonar como hiciste con Teorema. ¿Entendiste? Eso es muy triste. Viene haciendo rimas, sabes que ya no conquiste. He hablado demasiado. Abrí mucho la boca y hoy te como de un bocado. ¿Entendiste? Esto no es complicado. Aquí ya vino Mau el asesino. Este en Argentina es todo, en España está desapercibido. Eres como Messi, pero invertido.
Oh, wait, hold on. I understand that bar, even though I think your translation is wrong. You're like Messi, but no, that's not the word. That's not the word. I think it's meant to say you're like Messi, but opposite or inverted or something like that. Because oh, that is a dope way to end the fucking verse. So basically, he's saying, you know how Messi is Argentinian, but in Spain he's like a god in Spain, because obviously he's been at Barcelona for 15-20 years, and the guy's just been breaking records after records, scoring, being a top scorer for a lot of the seasons anyway. And he's saying, WOS, okay, you're like a Messi, you're Argentinian as well. However, you're only good in Argentina, because I know WOS has won a lot of championship, or he's been finishing top of the FMS league for a while now. But then when it comes to Spain, you flop every time you come to battle and I'm guessing this Red Bull tournament is in Spain. So that is a fucking bar, man. That is a fucking bar. Oof. Is that the end of the? Oh yeah. So that ACZINO won that the first round. 100%. Because I'm a bit disappointed with WOS's level though. Like, I expect him to be so much better than the first round. I'm not saying ACZINO wasn't great either. He wasn't great either, because he wasn't dropping any crazy reference. Apart from the last one, he wasn't really dropping, but he won that round clearly. But let's see. En 3, 2, 1, tiempo.
Si crees que eres mejor que yo, vengo a dejarte ya como un déjà vu. Vengo a hacerte un plus, te mando como la luz. Vengo haciendo pa' que rimas, pa' que digas Jesús. Uy, no es por resentido que digo que gané Red Bull. No es por resentido, es por sentido común. Así que...
Okay, that's a reference. I need to check what that reference is. So, resetful translate to resentido. Common sense. Common sense translate to sentido común. It's not for being resentful. Did I say I won Red Bull? Okay, it's not about being resentful. It's common sense. Not too sure. I mean, the reference is there for it's not really a punch or anything. You're just talking about yourself, which is basically saying that's a big a bit like kind of bigging up yourself, like really. Yeah, but it's not a punch. It's not a punch.
Gané Red Bull. No es por resentido, es por sentido común. Así que entiende. Tú dices que yo andaba en la mía. Veniste a fumar porro allá por la Gran Vía. Llenaste Luna Park, lo llenaste por 2 días.
Okay, he flipped that Gran Via one. He flipped that Gran Via verse from the first one. So WOS sold all tickets to his concert at Luna Park. Ooh, it was in Buenos Aires. Okay, so I'm guessing this. You filled Luna Park, filled it for 2 days. Okay. Oh my god! Oh, okay. That's a punch. You fill all the rooms, but with empty bars. Fucking hell, man. Okay. I know he's relating that to WOS's, sold out concert in Buenos Aires in Luna Park. Okay. That's being salty though. That's being salty. I don't know if ACZINO actually, like, if he holds concert, does he tours? I mean, I know someone told me that he does make music as well, but I don't think he's as big as WOS, because yeah, I don't think he's as big, even though when it comes to rap battle, obviously, like, he's the ultimate GOAT.
Ahora hace pop, ya no hace underground. Andas haciendo mucho ruido, ándate con cuidado.
Wait, there's a fucking reference there. So now he's just kind of dissing him. I mean, yeah, he left underground, he's making music now, he's more, like fashionable, like I say, it's not really, I can see why he's saying that, but to be honest with you, like, you know, he's making a career out of himself. He's successful, so yeah, that's kind of, you know, it's a bit salty from ACZINO. But let's see this reference. You're making a lot of noise. Walk carefully. Ruido, missionary iconic phrase. It translates to noise. Cuidado, Mbaka iconic phrase. It translates to carefully. Oh, damn. How the fuck did he able to think about those two and connect them? Fucking hell. No, ACZINO is a fucking intelligent motherfucker, you know. I'm gonna lie.
Cuando asesino sabes que siempre ya te sepulta. Hoy que yo no me la escribo, solo te doy la cuenta. 90 putas barras de aquel que el planeta del hip hop sí lo representa.
Talk your shit, my nigga. Talk your shit. Talk your shit. That was a dope run. That was a dope run. The Luna Park was a bar. The fucking how we connected that noise and walk from the iconic phrases of the two people that used to that still host this kind of events. That was a fucking dope bar as well. Okay. So WOS needs to come good now because he lost the first round. Dos, uno, tiempo. Where's the punch? Sabe que se desespera si no le gana al WOSito, no remonta su carrera. Oh, okay, that was a good one. Poor ACZINO, he knows he despairs. If he doesn't beat the WOSito, he doesn't revive his career. So this is just kind of making a reference to the previous time they met in the final, which is 2018, the one that WOS won. Even though a lot of people still don't agree with that result. So he's saying basically ACZINO is more desperate to beat him, because if it loses to him, that's gonna be really like, you know, he needs to revive his career, because he went to the final, he lost at the final, now he's facing you in the last 16. If he loses, then it's not gonna look good on him. Okay. That's dope. Talk your shit, my nigga. The fucking voice that this guy makes, man. Fuck. He has an amazing talent, man, to ride the beat with that fucking voice, man.
Patadas de canguro en el culo bien duro y el mexicano se vuelve para su país.
Kanguru Cake. WOS most famous song with over 130 million views. Yeah, a lot of people have told me to react to that song, so I need to react to it. So Kangaroo Cake in the ass, and the Mexican leaves for his country. That's a light punch. Light punch. Damn, he's mocking his flow now. I don't know though. Like, first round, clearly ACZINO won the first round. Second round is more of a tie, you know, to be honest. Because ACZINO dropped 2 good bars. WOS did drop a bar as well with the one that, you know, you have to beat me in order to revive your career, but tough one. I'll go ACZINO should win this one then. Replica. Yeah, but ACZINO got 2 votes and WOS got 1 vote. I think ACZINO slightly shaded that. He shaded that. I was a bit disappointed with WOS' first verse. Like I said, I expected so much more from him, but he came back in the second verse. But ACZINO should have won.
Y se lo damos en
3, 2, 1, tiempo.
Me habla de localía, Atacas que no fue en su país, ganar no podía. Antes de su país perdió 3 consecutivos.
Oh, okay. This is where you need to come good, man. Every single thing you drop, every single line has to be a fucking punch. He talks to me about locality. Until it was in his country, he couldn't win. ACZINO won Red Bull International on the 4th attempt. Okay, that was a shot. Because he's basically saying that he's been to every single World Red Bull tournament. The first 3 attempts, he didn't win any. Until the event was held in his country, then he won it obviously 2 years ago against WOS in the final. Okay.
Ganar no podía, antes de su país perdió 3 consecutivas. Si el localista soy yo, eso se llama hipocresía.
Eso se llama hipocresía. Mira cómo
Flip
llega
that.
para darte ya la orgía. Este güey dice que patada de canguro. No, patada mexicana y te vas a tomar por culo.
Nah, points to WOS. That's
La de canguro no es competición, la de canguros de unión es de Chile, de Argentina y de toda la región. Es la patada del pueblo en contra de la represión.
Es en contra de la represión, pero luego pone su culo en la televisión. Sale como payaso cantando reggaetón.
Wait, there's a fucking reference there. Okay, he came back with a reference there. It's against repression, but then he puts his ass on TV. Was on Argentine television. Ooh, okay.
Sale como payaso cantando reggaetón, pero con una playera dice revolución.
¿Qué sabe? No sabe la esquina. Traje el rap para toda América Latina. En la tele, o ya se olvidó, hermano, cuando salió en los premios ranchando con Arcano.
I fucking love this part, man. I love this part, man. On TV, have you forgotten, brother, when he was at the awards with ACZINO? ACZINO were at the Platinum Awards, the American Film Awards program. So he was on TV too. Okay.
Premio ranchando con Arcano.
Sí, con Arcano era mi rival. Hicimos mierda que fue muy bien.
ACZINO and ACZINO have Red Bull battles with millions of views. Ooh, I think I've reacted to one of their battles. Oh, yes, ACZINO was my rival. We did shit that went viral.
Mis seguidores me vieron peleando en la internacional. Los tuyos lo conocieron junto a David Bisbal.
Ah, he dropped on it. Oh my god, my followers saw me fighting in the international. Yours met with David Bisbal. ACZINO appeared in the voice kits with David. Okay.
Sos un envidioso, porque me va bien y a vos no jocoso. Ya sabemos por qué nadie escucha sus canciones. El que las escritas las trae a competiciones.
Oh, that's a punch. Oh my god. Ooh, there are tens of millions of views of difference between WOS and ACZINO's songs. Yeah. Plus, WOS has made a success with his music. And ACZINO isn't doing much. Okay, that's when I said something earlier that ACZINO is being salty of his, maybe a bit jealous of his success, and he used that here. That's good. That's dope. Oh my god! Oh my god, he flipped that, even though I still think, man, I mean, don't presume to me that you also have views. That tells us that rats are not counted in millions. Fucking hell, fucking disrespect, man, fucking disrespect.
No hablo de las reproducciones, me reproduzco y luzco bien por todas mis acciones. Te fuiste acá y en la primera volví a la siguiente porque en esta estás afuera.
En esta estás afuera. La rima es la temática, nunca está compleja, esa es la problemática. De verdad, no sé qué son más básicas, si tus líricas o tus fanáticas.
Sí, gracias. Yo deslizo por la pista para tener mi punto de vista, a bancarme que este topo me tire por artista. Díganme si eso no es amor por el freestyle.
Amor por el freestyle, la gente que lo siente, los que vos están estado aquí desde siempre. Los que piensan que tú me ganaste juntamente todavía no pueden votar por el presidente.
Oh, second round. Oh my god, this was slightly in WOS's favor. Slightly. I think he slightly edges this. But then again, the first one ACZINO should have won before they went to replica. Replica again, but you can see WOS definitely edged that one, slightly edged that one. But then again, same with the first round as well. So let's see.
It's going down, hermanita. Se está calentando.
Esto ya está calentito, papá.
Okay, MCs, ¿estáis ready?
Ahora empiezas tú, asesino. Perfecto, están ready. Tone, lo tienes, ¿verdad? Pues suéltalo.
Okay. Now you got to bring your best.
Y se lo damos en 3, 2, 1. Yo tengo el flow como el MC Man. Vengo aquí a acabar como este especie.
Rhymes.
A clavar como estrella de la NBA.
Ah, keep going.
Me siento como Eminem abusando de MG.
Ah! Oh my god. Oh fuck. Damn. Oh my god. He wrote the beat. The end rhymes was fucking dope. And then he ended it with a punch. Oh my god, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. What? See? Damn, he murdered that. MCM. Specimen. NBA. Ah! MGK. Fuck, you know, that was fucking dope. And you know, we know what Eminem did to MGK. And funny enough, I think WOS slightly looks like MGK. So, so the whole fucking scheme, the whole setup was fucking dope, man. How he's compared him to a specimen. Ah, fucking hell, gonna murder you like an NBA star, and then how Eminem murdered MGK. That was fucking dope.
¿Cómo le decimos esto? De evolución, un poco de freestyle, un poco de hip hop. ¿Cómo le decimos a su falta de lírica y de emoción? Eso se llama envidia en su máxima expresión.
Eso es envidia en su máxima expresión.
The ultimate expression of karma rhyme that was used in his battle against in 2018. Okay. That's not a hard punch.
En su máxima expresión, pero si reciclo yo, tiene repercusión. Por eso hoy yo no vine a reciclar, solo vine a poner la basura en su lugar.
Mira cómo te miro. Si hablas de reciclar, mejor que recicles tu estilo. Yo tocando, vacilando y rapeando con los rochos, y él llorando por la Red Bull del 2018.
Yo no lloro por la Red Bull de 2018. Yo estoy aquí desde la Red Bull de 2008.
Really? ACZINO's first presentation Red Bull was in regional in 2008, so he's been around for a while though. He's been around. Ooh, okay.
De 2008. Reciclar yo no necesito. Reciclo y reciclo porque mi ciclo es el infinito.
Oh my god! Damn, God of that was a fucking dope scheme with the recycle. That was fucking dope. Even in Spanish, it sounded fucking dope. I don't need recycle. I recycle because my cycle is infinity. Talk your shit, my nigga. Talk your shit. It's not a punch, man. It's a fucking wordplay, man. That was fucking dope.
Mejor ponete las pilas, pelotudo. Participó en 6 mundiales y solo ganó.
So he's making a fun of what, you know, his Red Bull record basically since 2008. So yeah, that's 11 years, and you've only won one. Yeah, that's a poor record though. That's a poor record. But you know, come on, the first few years he was young, man. He was getting kind of, you know, he was. I know he's probably young. So back in the day, I mean, even though he had, you know, potential, You can't expect him to be winning the tournament. But obviously, I can see why it's a diss, because you know 11 World Cups and 1-1 is it's bad. Flip that, please. What? What? You won 5 in 2019. So you're not talking about Red Bull. You won 5 in 2019. So we're talking about he's, you know, okay. So he's a bit too. He's trying to put all the trophies he's won, basically. Okay.
¿Quieren que empiece? Solo está rapeando pelotudeces y quiere que yo tropiece. Eso que soy yo, el que no compite hace 10 meses.
No compite hace 10 meses. Dejó abandonado a God Level y a FMS. En BDM tampoco aparece. El primer bicampeonato, este se lo merece.
Porque no me importa, camarada. Aparezco cuando quiero, vos una cagada. Yo hago mis shows sin necesidad de nada. Si vos haces un show solo no vendés ni 2 entradas.
Y entonces, ¿qué mierda haces aquí? Te informo que estas son batallas de free. Si entonces no te gusta competir, déjanos a los que lo amamos y lárgate, please.
Si me gusta, estoy atento. Si me gusta, por eso lo hago y por eso represento. Vine a representar el hip hop argento y devolverle el amor que me dio todo el movimiento.
Damn. Okay, I mean, if it's just based on the last round, ACZINO has won it. For me, in my opinion, I think the very first punch that he dropped in that verse, with the whole, you know, the end rhymes with the Eminem and the MGK to finish the punch, that was the best punch in the whole of these battle for me, and ACZINO dropped it there. After that, apart from that, there wasn't really much. I mean, the wordplay that ACZINO did with the recycle and the cycle of infinity, that was dope, but it wasn't a punch. It was just him talking his shit, basically. Afterwards, you know, I told him that he recycled his rhymes. So yeah, I'll give the edge to ACZINO. I would be surprised if he wins this one. Yeah. That was a clear one. That was a well-deserved one. Damn, what a fucking battle, though. What a fucking battle. Every time these two come face each other, man, it's just reference upon reference. Even though today's references, they weren't like, you know, really heavy references, but it was dope, man. It was a fucking dope battle, man. I think probably the fact that WOS was absent for 10 months in 2019, that probably had an impact on his performance. But then again, you know, ACZINO is just, you know, he's ACZINO, man. He's the GOAT for a reason. So thank you so much, guys. Freestyle in Spanish for uploading this battle, man. I'm gonna put the link to the original video in the description, guys. Let's go support him, man. He's gonna keep making this freestyle for us. The next battle that I want to react to, I'm still waiting for people to make the subtitle for the ACZINO against Chuti, the one in BDM. And also I think ACZINO Dominic and ACZINO against Arcano. Most of it is featured on ACZINO, of course. So I'm still waiting for people to do that, guys. So anyway, thank you so much, guys, for your constant support. Thank you so much for all the love. I'm gonna move on to the next reaction. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I will see you guys. Peace.